Hi everyone, Aidan here with etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the Saris MHS platform style bike rack on our 2022 Hyundai Palisade. Now this bike rack holds the bike primarily by the wheels. That's going to mean zero frame contact, making it good for carbon frame and alternative frame bikes. It's going to be good for e-bikes too. It's going to hold the bikes actually really well because not only does it have those wheel hooks or those wheel hoops holding down the tires, we've got some secondary points of contact, like our back wheel strap holding that back wheel down, and this small block in the tray holding our front wheel in place. That's going to help limit the side-to-side movement of our front wheel. A lot of bike racks of this style actually have that issue where the front tire will rotate a bit just because there's nothing else holding it in besides this wheel hoop. Having just that small block at the front to help with that really helps stabilize the bike. Now, one thing that this has, like other platform style racks in this class, is the ability to tilt away. We've got our handle at the back that we can squeeze and set the bike rack down. It actually has a built-in rest that'll hit the ground before it bottoms out, so we can get hatch access. Hitting that button will open up the hatch, and although it is very close with our wide handlebars here, it does still clear, giving us access to the back to get stuff out, or just sit back here to change our shoes before or after a ride. There's plenty of room to do that. It tilts plenty far, even though it does stop out when it hits the ground. Now I'll close this back up and we can raise the bike rack back into place. One other thing I want to point out about it is the integrated cable locks. They're actually positioned in a really neat spot down here in the trays, centered up with the frame. So we can just run that cable lock straight up through the frame and back to itself to secure the bikes, which I really enjoy. A lot of times when you have the locks built into the arms, they're not long enough to reach through the frame of the bike. From here though, we can get the bike unloaded. We'll start off with that strap at the back, pressing in on the button and releasing the ratcheting strap. We want to do that first because it's just a secondary point of contact and it's not actually holding the bike upright. To undo the arms, just squeeze this gray handle and push the arm out. If you push too far, it will just fall. So just be mindful of that. It will hold itself up if we only go so far. And something to be cautious of is that there is a lot of tension built up there, and that lever, that squeeze, can be a bit of a pinch point for your hand. So it's just something to be cautious of when you are unloading the bike. I'll set this to the side and we can lower these back down. You'll hear them ratchet into place as I lower them. And we can always replace this strap as well, just so it's not freely moving around. Now, something we can check out here is the ground clearance. Because we have that stop built in for when we tilt it away, it is going to reduce our ground clearance by a fair bit, down to 12 inches at that back end. I do think, depending on the steep driveway or hill that you're going down, you might bottom out with that point and see some scraping. So just be mindful of that and be aware that it might happen. As far as your distance added to the back goes, we are going to be sticking out 34 inches to the outermost point here. That does stick out a little bit further than some other options out there, but not terrible. When bikes are unloaded, we can come to that same handle though, and actually fold the whole bike rack up straight. So if we want to leave this in the hitch between rides and not remove the whole thing, we can. It's just ready to go for next time. Now only sticking out about 9.5 inches, which is very condensed to the back. I will say though, that comes at a slight cost of it coming very close to your bumper. We've got about a 1/2 inch of clearance between the arm and the vehicle. I will say I don't think it should make contact though. There is a little bit of movement back and forth at that pivot point, but not enough to where it's going to move any closer than that to your vehicle. So I'm not too concerned about that. You can see right there is where I'm kind of talking about. In this state, it does also block a fair amount of your license plate and your backup camera. It's not completely blocking it, but it does obstruct it quite a bit. Now down at the hitch, we've got it working with our 2" by 2" receiver tube, and it comes with a locking anti-rattle bolt. That lock is key to the cable locks up top, so it's all under one system, and that anti-rattle keeps things secure in the hitch. And overall, I do like the MHS quite a bit. I like how well it holds the bikes, but for me, the downsides is the size and bulkiness. I'd maybe look into the Saris Super Clamp, either the HD or the EX. Both of those are going to be perfectly capable bike racks in terms of weight capacity and how they hold the bikes, but they're just built a little less bulky than the MHS here. Either way you go, they're going to be great options and work well with your Palisade though. Thanks for watching.